You keep it going. There are three. No, they're not three. We got about it. Pardon me. All right, meeting. Those that are able, would you please stand for the pledge of allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic that stands one nation, indivisible. Thank you. Thank you to Mark and Dennis for our donuts this morning. Thank you to all of the officers of the Veterans Club. They're all listed. We don't have an agenda. I'm Richard Long. I'm president. Vice President Carol Taylor is traveling. David Van Ostall is here this morning. So I'm here. Secretary Gordon. Hi. Larry Shear is our tech guy. Sharon Bender is also traveling. Dan Cook, thank you. Steve Morris, someplace here, has gone, thank you. Don Seymour is traveling. I didn't see Bruce Schwartz. I think he told me he had a medical appointment. Dick too is here, and Bob Whalen. Thank you for all the great support for the Veterans Club. Also this morning, I want to welcome Arlette Rios from Senator Mark Kelly's office. Arlette was here a couple of months ago, and she's here again this morning and going to meet with a couple of our people during the meeting. David Morales, right here in front from the DAV. If there are people that need to schedule an appointment for any type of benefit consultation, David's right here. Please do that. Okay, and with that, we are ready for Bob to honor our fallen veteran.
I'd like to recognize Virgil Roeder, U.S. Air Force, who passed away on May 14th. I'd also like to recognize a whole variety of family members, his wife June, and a number of daughters and son-in-laws and friends. And I think it's great that you've been able to show up for our recognition of this veteran who passed away from the U.S. Air Force. If you'd all rise for that. Thank you all. Virgil will be interred at the Veteran Cemetery this fall. But I think it really says something very strong about this man with all the number of family members who were able to show up. So thank you all, family, for coming the way you have. Thank you.
Okay, our speaker this morning. Arlette, would you like me to call the first one?
Yes.
Mary and Dean, if you're available, and just meet right there in the crack room. Our speaker this morning is Margot DiConcini. She is main fundraiser and the voice for an organization called TROT, and that is a therapeutic riding of design. They operate in conjunction with VA as far as offering veterans the abilities to heal mentally, physically, whatever. It was an organization started in 2006. So without telling you an awful lot more about it, Margot, please welcome Margot DiConcini.
Thank you guys so much for having me here. It's a pleasure. I was introduced to your group by one of your members, Kathy Garrick, who is one of our volunteers. And so just before we get started, it's going to be a little informal, but I want to show you a video. It's about a 5.5 minute video, but it shows exactly what it is that we do at TROT for all of the populations that we serve. A little bit of history. So we've been around since 1974. We're almost 50 years old. We're the first facility in the United States to innovate the use of horses as a treatment modality. So providing services similar to physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech, and traditional counseling services using horses as a treatment. In 2006, we partnered with the VA and their polytrauma unit to help veterans heal from traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, PTSD, anxiety, depression, and including their family members as well. And so from that program starting in 2006, which we are also the first equine therapy facility to provide those types of services in conjunction with the VA. But we've held national conferences. We are nationally acclaimed. We are also a premier accredited center through the Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship. So we've got a lot of letters after our name, but that doesn't deter us from our mission of helping every individual who may be living with or without a disability, including our veteran community as well. So we'll watch the video and then I'll tell you a couple extra stories and maybe answer some questions that you guys have. Super informal, super brief, but glad to be here to share awareness of our programs.
I've volunteered at TROT for about 2 years now. I would say my favorite part at TROT is the interaction with the participants, although I've realized that the piece that comes with dealing with the horses is pretty amazing also.
Our daughter is Hadley, and Hadley's been riding at TROT for about 10 months. So Hadley is 7 years old, and she has a diagnosis of both autism and ADHD. From our very first time on this campus, we quickly discovered that it was something that we would love and that we thought Hadley would benefit a lot from.
I was in the United States Marine Corps for 5.5 years, deployed to Iraq. I came to TROT and I've been lucky to have a lot of wonderful experiences with different riders, make connections, learn a lot about horses, make connections with them as well.
I've been riding here at TROT for 22 years. When I first started TROT, I felt kind of funny doing all this. Then once I got going, I just kept going and I couldn't stop.
A really close friend found out about our interest in it and decided they wanted to sponsor TROT for Hadley. We just were so impressed from our very first time on this campus. The skill of the trainers, the safety protocol, the attention to detail, just the individualized course of therapy.
Seeing that there was a wheelchair lift, mobility is offered to anyone here, and I just think that that's a really beautiful thing about TROT.
The individuals we serve at TROT have the same dreams and aspirations any of us do. And through riding a horse, they have the opportunity to see the world from on high, allowing them to experience not just the joy of riding a horse, but a sense of empowerment and control, because the connection between the human and the horse is real.
TROT's impact on me has been very positive. I have taken a step back. It gives me a time to relax, time to focus, time to be outside, and I've really enjoyed the peace that I get just by being here on the property.
I'm doing a lot better here at TROT than when I first started. So I'm doing very well.
When we pull into the parking lot and get out of the car, Hadley just leads us right to the staff. She knows what's coming. Just the joy that it brings her is incredible for us to see.
The look on the participants' faces, the minute they sit in that saddle, there's a calm that comes over them. And that just really brings a smile to my face every time I see it happen.
When I see Hadley on Carmela, I see our daughter feeling so brave and proud of herself and confident, self-assured, and she's so happy. It's like we get to witness this magical unlocking of her potential. It might be really gradual, but it's unlocking and unfolding her potential.
Seeing some of my fellow veterans and the way that they progressed in the Heroes on Horses program has been really nice. There are a lot of veterans I know who are having issues, and I would recommend volunteering. Get out of the house and be a part of something. The thing about TROT, it's a community, and that can be a barrier for some veterans too because of social anxiety or what have you. But it's just so worth it. No matter how much time I put into TROT, I'm always going to get more out of it than I could ever put into it.
I'm improving. Each time I come here, I improve.
It's a great gift to Tucson, and I think more and more people are starting to realize what a beautiful gem we have here.
As a mom, getting to watch Hadley participate in TROT, it's this brief window each week where it feels like I'm at any other practice or sporting event, like any other typical family would be a part of. You watch your child with pride and you cheer them on. And for a brief moment, the lens of disability and the lens of hard things and challenge, that lens is lifted. And she rides and she's happy.
It's hard for a lot of veterans to find meaning after they leave the military, and this is a way to do it.
TROT is a big part of my life. And when I leave this earth in lieu of flowers, I want to make sure that people give to TROT.
It just feels like we all experience peace for an hour a week, and we love it because she loves it.
It's not just changing the lives of the participants, it's actually changing my life as a volunteer.
We love TROT.
I love you, TROT.
Since 1974, TROT has helped thousands of participants and their families thrive through an inspiring partnership with horses.
So that's a 6-minute snapshot of what it is that we do. So in the video, you see that we're assisting. Whoops. We can help you with that too. We do help individuals with mental health. So we see individuals who are living with dementia or Alzheimer's, or those who are experiencing age-related concerns, whether it be strength-related, whether it be mobility concerns, or as general mental health improvements. But we work with individuals starting at age 4. We have no age cap. Our oldest participant currently is a veteran who is 86. He came to us after having a stroke 3 years ago, right before the pandemic. And so as he's been working with TROT and through his progress, he has been able to move from utilizing a wheelchair for mobility to a walker, to a cane, to walking independently from the barn down to the round pen and back with the assistance of his equine partner. Which the story of that is, it always gives me goosebumps when I think about it, only because when the point of including horses into our program isn't necessarily just for the individual. However, that is how we're, really able to support, the person and their goals and the treatment, but also for the horses as well. So the horse that we've partnered him with has a lot of anxiety and is always moving really fast and has to go on to the next thing, and is super hyper vigilant, is always looking around, but being in the partnership with this gentleman who needs to slow down, needs to take a breath in order for him to be able to continue taking those steps to and from the round pen or the barn. Our horse, Fish, has had to realize that he also needs to take a breath. And through this beautiful partnership, it's been really, it always makes you kind of feel, in the way of where, from moving from the round pen and walking, Fish will take a couple steps and stop and wait for his partner, his veteran partner, to catch up with him. And the same thing, where if Fish understands and knows that his veteran partner needs to take a break, he'll stop and he'll allow his partner to rest on him for as long as he needs. And then the veteran will say, when he's ready, walk on, let's keep going. And Fish is right there, right next to him. And so that partnership that they've created isn't necessarily just for the veteran, but it is also for the horse as well. And we're all learning together, and it becomes what we consider as teamwork. It's a partnership. And so those are a lot of the really beautiful stories that we get to see and share and get to observe on a daily basis. We've seen a lot of first words, we've seen a lot of first steps, and we've heard a lot of first words. And it's really a magical thing. So one of the reasons how our organization got started was one of our founders is a physical therapist, and the other is an equine specialist who got into a really bad horse accident, broke her back and her legs, and was really in tough shape. And like every doctor, they're like, well, you're never going to walk again. And our physical therapist founder was like, Yeah, you are, and we're gonna use a horse to do it. And so they started doing research on the movement of the horse and how it helps to rehabilitate our bodies, how the movement of the horse mimics our gait. So when we're sitting on top of the horse is walking, though we're not walking, our brain and the movement that we're receiving from the horse is telling us that we're walking. And so if you've ever been on a horse and you get off and you're like, oh, I'm so sore, I didn't know I have those muscles, it's because our brain is still actively working muscles that we ourselves are not consciously working. It's magic. But it helps to strengthen muscles, helps to reconnect neurotransmitters from our brains for our muscles. It helps to improve our neuroplasticity within our brains, our blood circulation, our focus, everything, all overall health benefits can be received from working with a horse, whether being riding or on the ground. And so our programs really focus on individuals who are looking to improve some aspect of their life, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, or social. We're there to help that person improve whatever it is that they're looking to improve. So they'll come in, they'll get an assessment with our program director. They'll look at their biopsychosocials or look at their strengths and their weaknesses and the goals that they're working on in their life, whether it be memory care or functionality. We're there to help support them. And through their goals and their treatment plan and the partnership of the horse that they create, beautiful things happen. So, yeah, I feel like I've talked quite a bit. So are there any questions? Yes.
Where is the ranch located?
Thank you. Yes, that is something I did not share. We are located on Tanca Verde and Catalina Highway. So yeah, we're all the way on the other side of the earth from here, but it's worth it. It totally is. We have people, a lot of our volunteers and participants will drive down Woodland Road, which is the road that we're on. And it's so beautiful and peaceful, but as they're driving and they're coming to TROT, they often report or say that it feels like they're coming home. So TROT is one of those places that we always try to keep a safe space and keep it beautiful for the people who come and join us or tour or just anything like that.
What are your hours? Are you 7 days a week?
Summertime is a little different than our normal average time. So our office hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then during the, I guess, September through May, we also are open on Saturdays for classes. So we at TROT, we run in semesters. So from kind of like a school. So September through December is our fall semester, and then our winter spring semester is January through May. And our participants will come and participate with us once a week for about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the class that they're in, their ability, their level, and the things that they're working on for their goals. But outside of that, like Mike, our veteran who was in the video, he volunteered, he can't get enough of us. So like he participates in Wednesdays are for veterans at TROT. So we've got our coffee social in the morning. We've got our veteran program that runs through. And then most of the time, those veterans that are there during the morning time will stay and help in the programs in the evening. But Mike always finds stuff to do around property, whether it be in the garden or down at the barn or helping in other classes and those types of things. So there's a lot of stuff for us to do. But yeah, so our office and our property is kind of always open. But I like to give tours to people who come out. So anytime you are interested in coming out to our property and meeting our 18 horses and on our 18 acres of property, I have some cards over there, and our information for our organization is on the table. So you can call at any time and we would be glad to give you a tour. Yeah.
What does this cost?
Thank you so much for asking. So our Heroes on Horses program is 100% free to all of our veterans and first responders in our community, as well as including their dependents. So whether that be their spouse or their children, 100% free to participate in our programs. That's the least that we can do for what you guys have done for us.
Who does pay for it?
The community. Yeah, so in my role, I'm development director at TROT. So I put out the grants, I knock on doors, I go and give speeches and presentations. We have some really great individuals who have left their legacy with us at TROT and as part of our legacy society. And those individuals have ensured that no veteran, first responder and or their dependents, spouse or dependents would ever have to pay for their program. So we're always doing fundraising as a nonprofit, always doing fundraising. And we have specific channels where people can restrict funds as well. So our Heroes on Horses program is a restricted fund that people do donate to on a regular basis.
I'd rather say the question. Who's up there feeds more of the horses? Change up the barn.
So it's kind of a loaded question right now because we're in the process of looking for a new property manager. However, we do have an individual who lives on site who feeds morning and night. And then we have a barn assistant who mucks stalls. But we also have and rely on a lot of our volunteers to help out in that area as well. So all in total, we have over 210 active volunteers at TROT. It sounds like a lot, but we are in desperate need for more. So yeah, our volunteers can help with mucking stalls, with cleaning waters, with beautifying our barn and our property. They can help in our programs. They can help inside in the office, help me with some events and fun stuff and all the, fun paperwork and stuff. We have 18 on property. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have quite a few and always still looking for more. The need in our community right now is huge. And after COVID, we've seen a lot of extra need. And so we are desperately trying to grow our program by purchasing new horses or by hiring new staff, gaining new volunteers, new donors, new supporters in order for us to be able to continue providing our services. We are an essential service. One of the really wonderful things about TROT is that we've never turned anyone away for their inability to pay. We always try and find a way to make sure that people can receive services that they're needing, especially there is a correlation of those who are oftentimes born with a disability end up in poverty, living in poverty, and those who are living in poverty oftentimes end up living with a disability. And so our mission at TROT, or part of our mission at TROT, is to ensure that everyone has equity and equal access to our programs, no matter who they are or where they came from. And so we have a really great scholarship program that oftentimes helps to support the individuals that aren't able to purchase or pay for services. And also to help support our Heroes on Horses program as well.
How many horses do you have and where do you get them?
So we have 18 horses on property. And where we get them is a little blurry. So I think one of the biggest misconceptions about our program is that we are a horse rescue, and we are not. We are far from it. Our horses are professionally trained and cared for on our property. Most of the time, individuals who attempt to donate a horse to us will donate a horse that is old and really not able, that just should be in a pasture for the rest of their life. And that's not what we do. Sometimes people think that we're just giving pony rides, but we are a medical facility. And so just like a car, you got to take care of your horses. You got to have a good car to run good and keep going. And so we will most often purchase horses because we are incredibly picky about their gait, how they walk, making sure that they're even. And then we go through a training process with them to desensitize them. We do something called Chaos Friday, where we get a bunch of our volunteers out and we'll bring out umbrellas and balls and squirt guns and pool noodles and flags and stand up and jump around and do a whole bunch of stuff. Because our horses essentially have to be bomb-proof, because those are the games and types of things that we bring into our arena when we're, doing lessons and such. So, we are very picky. But our horses have a dietitian, our horses have an acupuncturist, they have a body worker, and they even get Reiki done on them, so energy work. Because when you think about it, like, they have a pretty tough job. The moment that they get their, we call it a side pole, or their bridle put onto them, they are like a working dog. They know exactly what they're doing. They know their job. It is their job to them. And when they're not working, then they get to be a horse and get to be out in pastures and grass and, hang out with all their buddies and stuff. But the moment they get their bridle on, they know that they have a job to do, and they take it extremely seriously. It's kind of neat to see the difference when you see them out in pasture and just being the horse and stuff, and then you see them in class, they're straight and narrow focused. They know exactly what they're doing. The really cool thing about a couple of our horses that we have is that 2 of them are trained specifically to detect seizures and low blood pressure. So for, even like working on the ground, they give signals to be able to tell the instructor, hey, something's going on. This person needs to sit down, or this person needs to get off, or whatever it is. Or even if being on top of the horse and they recognize that the individual is about to go into a seizure, they'll give signals to let us know that we need to take the individual off the horse.
What symptoms do they use to detect low blood pressure?
It's mostly through smell. Mostly through smell, and then horses are really good at reading our body language too, which is one of the other reasons why they're so powerful. And going back to the fish story, fish specifically, well, horses act as a mirror. So if we're feeling really anxious, they're going to feel really anxious, and they're going to show it on them how we're feeling. And so with fish, who was also is very sensitive. If you're feeling really anxious inside the round pen and you're with him, he's going to start running around you because he's got all of this anxiety and adrenaline. And the moment that you learn to take a breath and calm your body and just let it all out, he starts to slow down and he starts to walk, and he starts to then eventually come into you inside the round pen to show that, yeah, you did it. You calmed
You
yourself.
could bring one of those horses in here. When you come to relationships, a good relationship with people, both you and the animal release biochemistry that's dopamine and serotonin, good for your health and healing.
Mhm.
Both of them.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Do you get much help financially from outside organizations?
So we do, I specifically go around to a lot of different organizations and foundations and meet with people, as I'm the person responsible for bringing in all the program support. I write the grants, I set up those appointments, I go and do everything that I can to make sure that our organization stands as tall as we are. So I'm always looking for new foundations. I'm always looking for new organizations or new people or places to go and spread the word about TROT. It's not always that I'm like, when I go into places, I'm not gonna ask you guys to open up your wallets today. I mean, that would be nice, right? But I want you guys to know about our program. I want you to know about our services. And if you yourself felt like you resonated and wanted to participate, or knew someone that could benefit from the services that we provide, that's what I'm here for. But yes, I am always looking for those extra places.
I'll give you a plug. I had a granddaughter with Down syndrome that went through that program, and I worked at the Berkeley VA. This is a couple of veterans who have PTSD from everybody. So, thank you for it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, everyone's story is different, but we try to encourage everyone to live their life without barriers in every possible way. So treatment or, goals for everyone look completely different, but we're there to ensure that everyone has the right to their own independent and beautiful life. Yeah.
Is there a significance to the use of the ring? I noticed that some of the riders would then pick a ring
So like in the video, as an example, yes, one of the riders was holding the ring. So the ring helps in different aspects of like hand-eye coordination, fine motor, gross motor skills. And so they'll use those rings in different activities. One of the activities would be to like rope a steer. And so the idea is that they're using their trunk motion to turn or grab the ring, and then communicating effectively with their horse to walk on and whoa, using those communication skills. And then the steer is lower, and so they still have to maintain trunk control in order to hand-eye coordinate, putting the ring onto the steer's form. And so there's different games and different functions to everything that we bring into the arena, from teaching someone how to what we call 2-point, which is basically standing up in the saddle and holding yourself up. So that's strengthening your legs, strengthening your back, and then also strengthening your arms if you're using your arms to help support you. And so that individual may be working on their mobility or their strength or their gross motor skills. They may be working on just improving their strength overall. So there's a lot of different games, a lot of different things, and our instructors, our certified instructors, will coordinate the action plan with really cool things. It's, for some of our kids, it's more of like, they don't necessarily know that they're gaining all of those extra benefits of strength and control, and they're riding their horse and they're playing fun games and all of those kinds of things. So it keeps them engaged.
Yeah. You mentioned scholarships. Could you explain some more about those?
Sure. So obviously our Heroes on Horses program is exempt from scholarships. So an individual who comes to participate in our program will our semester fees is a 12-week semester. It's $540 for a 12-week semester. It breaks down to about $45 a week. And some of the individuals that we serve, that's a little much for them, especially living with having a family that may have a child with special needs. Things are very expensive. And so we have very generous community members who donate into our scholarship fund, which allow for those individuals to qualify based on financial need on a sliding scale. And so they can take it from a $45 a week payment all the way down to $11 a week by the assistance of our community supporting our scholarship fund. We do have some individuals who sponsor riders yearly. So we'll do 2 $540 scholarships for an individual to ensure that they have the continuity of care and continuation of services for them, because the family may not be able to support them. So, but yeah, everyone has an opportunity to apply within our scholarship program. We do have a small scholarship committee within our office that looks over it and talks about it. And we do even offer hardship scholarships. So for those who, see, last year we had a woman who had a child with autism. They were living in a domestic violence shelter, which at that point we gave her a hardship scholarship or gave her free tuition to ensure that her son had an outlet and an opportunity to grow and travel through the trauma that he's already seen and continuing to experience. So we do whatever we can in order to help the individuals. Well, so all of the extra information that we brought, and we have it over on the table, and we'll leave it for you guys. My card is on there, but I would love to have you guys come out and see our property. Bring your walking shoes. But we've got a really great facility that I'd love to show you. So give me a call, write me an email, send me a text. Love to see you out there.
So anytime you start talking about the abilities of animals and how they know what's going on inside that person and how they actually work for a living, it was really, really amazing. And I'm really, really proud of you to come out and share all of this with us. I had a chance to visit with Margot a little bit. And she told me that the accounting process out there is a little bit difficult because she has how many groups of people? 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 groups of people that she has. This grant is for those and this grant is for those. And the veterans is in this category. So I knew that I could safely put this into a veterans category. Here's a check for you. For your service.
Thank you so much.
And I also have, because I know you got a lot of paperwork going on out there, right? We need to keep it under control.
Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, this is mine. Okay, here we go. Thank you.
Thanks. Wow, I'm so honored. We also, we have a couple challenge points we're moving for you guys. So for our heroes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay, we'll move over to the business part of our meeting. Gordon, would you like to present the treasurer's report?
Sure.
Well, excuse me, as they say in the comic world, it's hard to follow an animal act, but here I am. This is the report for ending in May 31st. We started with a balance of $5,502.07. During the course of May, we had a deposit of $1,606.44, which was $1,000 from Roger Daggett at United Realty, $500 from Tim K at Diamondback. I'd given Tim a check for $33 for a reimbursement for the barbecue, and he gave that back to me. So another $33 from Tim and from the can that day. We had on the 17th a $1,243 deposit for the sale of picnic tickets. We also had a $500 donation the same day from Christine at Schaefer Realty. And we also had another $500 the next day from Tim Walter and Kay again from Diamondback. On the 30th, we had $230 deposit from picnic sale tickets again, which gave us a $4,079.44 income for the month of May. Expenses, we had a $600 check that we wrote to Friends of Nighthawk 72, the Marines who perished at the airport. Camp Corral, we gave a donation of $250 to. We wrote a check, and it's already been cashed to Honor Flight for $2,400, which they were very timely this time. And we had sort of an accumulated total of $689 of expenses that we incurred from the picnic. That left us a total of $3,939.51 in expenses for the month. Final balance, $5,490.79. Patriot Pantry ends, well, as of the 23rd, we had a $900 commitment that we still haven't obliged yet. That's it. Questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Gordon. One of the things that that he mentioned was the fact that we had a wonderful picnic sponsored by the Schaefer team, and we earned just shy of $1,500 at that event. And being as how it was a summer picnic, I thought it was appropriate that maybe we could assign some of those dollars to our annual campership. So I would like Tim Peeler to come forward. Tim is the general manager at Camp Corral. And as you know, Camp Corral, Golden Corral sponsors the Camp Corral event and sells raffle tickets out there. That was what the $250 was to go towards a raffle ticket. But Tim, here is a check for $1,200, which represents one campership.
Yes.
For one Arizona person.
Wow.
And we do this every year, and we really had an opportunity this year to make two events in one.
We appreciate it. We're still locally.
Into the mic, please.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. And we in store, we are raising money also. First place, we're selling the raffle tickets, and first place is $500, third place is $300. Second place is $300, third place is $200. So I think we've already raised close to over $2,000 so far. My goal this year is $6,000. So
Did you bring tickets out there?
I did not, I'm not prepared. I'm so sorry. That's all I'm sorry. We really appreciate this and I'm gonna make sure this gets right away to campground. And again, thank you again. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Come on, let's have some excitement here. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you again.
And also, David, we have a check for the DAV, which is part of our charity giving. We always have an event in the fall, but we also support them throughout the year. So here's a check for $1,000 for your work at the DAV. Thank you so much. Thank you. We've got.
You can't leave, David. Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I'd like to say that chapter 28 and 18 no longer have service officers, so if you want to get anything done, you have to go to chapter 4. But we have 17 service officers, so we'll take care of you. And this will be to good use. And we don't have a bar, we don't have a restaurant. It's strictly donations. So this is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much.
All right, moving off to new business. Next Wednesday is Flag Day. And that means that at 6 o'clock in the morning, Larry's going to be down here in front of the center expecting all of your smiling faces to show up with your drills and your bits to place the flags along Sunflower Park, all the way from Coach Line and the Silver Bell and all the way out to Twin Peaks. I can tell you, when we're out there putting them up, everybody that's up at 6 o'clock, and that seems to be a good share of the community, is stopping and saying thank you. How much they just appreciate driving in and seeing all of those flags. Those 4 days out of the year that we do that. So be here with Larry next Wednesday. Unfortunately, I won't be here. I'm having eye surgery that morning. But he's done it more than once, you know. And also, at our last meeting, we bought 2 drills to go with drill bits that we already have, so we will have more help for you. Really, it's kind of a fun thing to do. It doesn't take long, does it?
No, doesn't take long.
All right, so that's next Wednesday, and it will happen again on July 4th, which is a Tuesday, a couple weeks later. And we're doing exactly the same thing. 6 o'clock in the morning, we put them out. 7 o'clock at night, we take them up. So please be here for that. Okay, the other new business item is something for all of you to think very, very seriously about for the next 6 or 8 weeks. The board is going to be making some changes and we need your help. I have sold my home. This will be my last meeting. And I am moving to Las Cruces, New Mexico. So my position will be available. Don't all run up here.
Sounds good, please.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah, please run up here. And also David Van Ostall, our secretary, has sold his home and he is moving to Fort Huachuca and going to live in on-base housing. So our executive board of 5 members, all of a sudden has 2 vacancies. So it's really, really important for people to step up. You do not need to be a year-rounder. I'm not. I went to Maine 6 weeks every winter. But you know, you can contribute in some way if there's enough people that are representing the club, and we had a board of 11. Everybody can have one project or something. It's not overwhelming. Really, it's not. It's kind of fun. So please think about it very seriously and be prepared to step forward. We're going to be having elections at the August meeting. And Carol Taylor, our vice president, will be running that meeting and that process. Because of her health, she has also notified us that she will be stepping down at the end of the year. So we've got major changes going forward. Please think very seriously about this because it's a great thought. We've made a big difference out in the community, not just Sunflower, but Marana and Greater Tucson. People know who we are. So it really is a lot of fun. So I encourage you to think about it and step forward. I know vets don't volunteer for stuff, do they? So don't make us go, it's you and you. Okay. Is there anybody here that's been here for the first time and or has been gone for 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 months and is now back? And I see people pointing, so I'm supposed to go this direction, I guess. You get to tell us who you are, who you want to be, and thanks for this.
Steve Cisco, Air Force, and Air National Guard, 33 years.
Great. Anybody else? Okay, anything for the good of the cause? Tom Campbell. When are they putting up the flags at the cemetery for the 4th of July?
Memorial.
You don't put them up on 4th of July? Memorial going up Flag Day? Oh, they do Memorial.
I just want to say, if you're gonna sell a house, like Richard and David, we have 3 realtors who have been so generous to us over the last several years. And like Richard said, when I started stepping out, and Dick too can attest to this, the first meeting we went to for the foundation, and I was wearing my sunflower shirt, they had no freaking clue who we were. And I can tell you today that every VFW, American Legion, DAV, VA knows exactly who the Sunflower Veterans Club is. And a lot of that comes from people like Ed, Tim, and Roger, who have been so generous in donating money to us. But thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I just want to say that this guy is leaving and is this thing on? Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to
No,
say.
we need it. We need it so it goes on the,
Oh, so the.
yes.
Maximus.
You just have to hold it right.
Okay, but I just wanted to say, if this is really your last meeting, I think we ought to at least give 3 hips and a hurrah to a guy that's really led us after Tom's leadership. But Richard is so well known in this community. He's going to be deeply missed, not only for the Veterans Club, but for the way we do things in this community. And I just want to say, Richard, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have gotten wrangled into this thing. And I know there's a lot of other guys that feel the same way. So we're going to miss you. Thanks a lot for your leadership.
Right by the flag, please. You by the flag. Thanks.
Richard, there was another hand over there.
Yes.
I just have one quick, and I will use the microphone so that the masses can hear me. But I just wanted to say, the PACT Act, which was passed last year in August, is about to come to its 1-year anniversary. And as of August 9th, if you don't file before then, even if you do not do an intent to file, which means you're intending to file a toxic exposure related disability claim, you will not qualify to get a retroactive payment for 1 year from the date. So August 9th is that deadline. It's coming up pretty soon. Our office will be having a virtual town hall with the regional VA office to go over some of the details. I will share that information with your leadership so that you have it. But I just wanted to say that today, because if you know people that are kind of teeter-tottering whether or not to file or when to do it now. Do it before August 9th, because whatever happens, whatever it goes, you will at least have that year of retroactive pay. If you do it after August 9th, you will still be, disability claim related. They just will not do that year retroactive pay. So I just wanted to make sure you guys know that, share that with your friends. I'm going to leave some cards here on the table if you guys have any questions. But that's really important. So I want to make sure nobody gets left behind and no one files after August 9th. So thank you so much.
Thank you for reminding us about that. Larry, maybe that is an announcement we can put on the website to put up a box so people pick up on that.
Richard,
People that aren't here today.
I would like to say about that. This has sort of been a bittersweet decision of making this move to Fort Huachuca. Like, why in the world would you do that? Well, as a benefit of the retiree, on-post housing is available. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, very nice. A lot of facilities, medical, everything's there. But the bittersweet part is we're happy that we can go and use this benefit. The bitter part, you gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing Kathy and I into your lives. It's been beautiful. Some of you have been a little, well, sort of like me, sort of different type personality, Dan. I couldn't resist that. But anyway, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing us into your lives. I'm going to be carrying on and the work you're doing, young lady. I'm going to be passing around to any veteran I run into, because a lot of veterans have benefits. They just aren't doing anything about it. So with that, thank you again. Thanks, Richard.
Okay, anything else for the good of the cause? Larry?
I brought this page up so I could show you. This is our main page when you go to the Sunflower Veterans Club. And if you go to something new I've started, and it's just a start, you go to activities and meetings and recent activities. It brings up like you have Southern Arizona Honor Flight, and then the picture. You have that for all the events that I have up there. When you click on it, it will take you to that site. And like for the Honor Flight, these are all the pictures that Honor Flight themselves took. And then if you want to look at them closer, you can click on it, it comes up. You can actually scroll through them. You can do all that type of stuff, and it takes you through all of those pictures. And this just happens to be the Honor Flight one. The picnic is up there. The Nighthawk 72 Memorial is up there. Let's scroll down through here. There's the picnic photos, they are up there, Missing America Project is up there. And I'm gonna go back through and put everything that we did this year. I'm gonna put albums of those up there so that this is a place you can go, see the pictures. And it loads a lot faster than the old way we were doing pictures. So I just wanted to show you, that's something new we've just started.
Thank you, very good. Everybody go in and use it. It's just an absolutely fabulous tool to see all of this stuff. But you remind me of one thing, the Honor Flight, the Honor Flight 32 has been asked to do the wall, the art wall out here, not Honor Flight 32, but the Veterans Club relating to Honor Flight 32 has been asked to do the art wall out here for the month of June. So we are going to have July, sorry. We are going to have 3 quilts that were given to the veterans as they leave by various groups of people. So they will be displayed. We are doing some of the individual pictures off of that trailer, but also pictures that I took when I went in 2019. And some pictures that Carol and Dennis took when they went, I believe it was in the early part of 2020, or maybe that was late 2019. So they're all going to be Honor Flight related, along with the history of how did Honor Flight start? What is their focus? So pay attention to the art wall during the month of July, because the entire art wall is going to be dedicated to Honor Flight. Alan.
Is there any information on the website about how to apply for?
Is the application on the website?
Yes, it is.
On Honor Flight website, yes, not on ours.
Okay, it's not on ours, but it is on Honor Flight's website.
Oh, that is.
But it's not on ours. Could you get it on ours?
I can put a link to it on ours.
You can put a link to it on ours. Yeah. So, and they do the award based on how they receive the applications. So if you get yours in today, you're going to be in line for whenever they get to that date. I think they said they're currently running about 2 years. As a result of now doing a charter flight and having bigger groups go, I think that is speeding up. But COVID really put a glitch in it, because there was like 2.5 years, so that would have been 5 flights that they would have missed. So they kind of gotten bogged down a little bit. But it's just a fabulous experience. And Mike is shaking his head, and Tom was shaking his head, and Gordon was. I mean, it's just great fun. And you're coming to it. Yeah, Bob's shaking his head back there. Don was on my flight. Yeah, it was great fun.
I think Bob actually kept his guardian.
Pardon me?
Bob actually kept his guardian.
He kept his guardian.
Dennis, you went, didn't you? No, Frank did. Frank went. Yeah. So
Flight 213.
yeah, it's just great fun. Okay, if there's nothing else, donuts left, help yourself, coffee left, help yourself, yak away, we're adjourned.
Hey, come on, you're good.